Today's class is wrists, twists, and ankles. You can use a block to sit on. We will be sitting for a long time, so if you need to sit on a block, you're welcome to grab one. We'll start with our breath of fire. Inhale to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 4. Inhale halfway, and then using the belly button, quick sharp bursts out through your nose, 20 bursts, 3 total rounds. Close your eyes. We'll inhale and exhale. Inhale halfway and exhale, 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 exhale. Press the air out through your belly button. Quick sharp bursts. We'll do about 20 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. And exhale, 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 exhale. Out, 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 out. Exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And recover. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale halfway. And out, out. Burst, 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 burst. Air goes out, out, out. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more inhale. One more exhale. Hands to your knees. Right hand goes on top of your heart. Your left hand goes on your belly. And repeat in your mind, may these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. May these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. Return your hands to your knees. Open your eyes. And we will start with our wrists. We're going to flex our wrists back towards us. And we'll start with each finger, beginning with the index finger, and we'll just gently pull the index finger back towards our face. Turn so you can see the wrist is flexed, the fingers gently being pulled back. We'll hold each of these for about 10 counts. Moving on to the next finger, the middle finger, pull that back towards your face, gently stretching out through the fingertips and through the wrists. And moving on to the ring finger, gently pulling that back. And then the pinky finger, giving that a gentle tug back towards your face. Straightening the arm, flexing the wrist back. For the thumb, we'll point the thumb up like a thumbs up, and we'll take our hand around the thumb and we'll move it like a joystick. So we'll do 5 circles in one direction, just manipulating that thumb like a joystick. And we'll switch and change and do 5 circles in the other direction, rolling out the thumb into the pad of your hand underneath your thumb. And we'll change sides. The left hand will flex forward, starting with the index finger, gently pulling it back towards your face, giving it a stretch. We don't often stretch our fingers and our hands, and they connect into our wrists. So if we have wrist pain, this is a nice stretch to do to help relieve some of that tension and tightness in the hands and in the wrists. We've moved on to the middle finger. If you haven't moved there, we'll come on to the ring finger. Pulling it back gently, and to the pinky finger. And then the wrist or the thumb will point up. You'll take a hold of it and move it in one direction 5 times. Doesn't matter which way you start, as long as you're going in both ways. 5 circles in one direction like a joystick, and then change and do 5 circles in the opposite direction. Release the thumb, blink the fingers. The left hand will come into an L, and you'll wrap it around your right wrist and pull down, making more space between your wrist and your hand. Your right hand will come into a fist, and you'll roll it out in one direction for 10 circles. Again, it doesn't matter which way you start, as long as you do 10 circles in one direction and then 10 circles in the other direction. Change. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. L with the right hand, wrap it around the left wrist, pull down, make a fist, and circle it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Changing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release the hand, shake it out. We'll move to the front of the mat to a hands and knees position. From this position, we will start to do circles, shifting our weight forward and backward slightly, circling to the right to begin, shifting the weight onto the hands and then back to the knees. Circle around, that's 2 and 3. Make sure your belly button is pulled up into your spine. 4, 5 more times, and we have 5 and 4, shifting side to side, front and back. 3, 2, and last 1. Come back to center, and we'll shift going to the opposite way. So we'll start to the right, but shift to the left. 1, circle 2, keep pulling that belly button in, and these are just gentle circles. You don't have to put a lot of weight in your hands. We're starting to wake up the wrists by gently adding some weight. Circle around and around, shifting from side to side, forward and backward as you make those big, full circles. And back to neutral. Your fingertip on your left hand will turn in towards your knees, facing backward. You'll bend your heel of your hand off the mat. You'll bend your elbow and release down slightly, like a little gentle push-up. Depending on how flexible your wrists are, you may be able to go far, or you may be able to just barely lift the heel of the hand off. Don't strain yourself here. Take it very gently. Just bend and come up, working through the flexibility in your fingers as well as through your wrists here. Just bend. We'll do 10 total of these on the left. And when we've finished our 10, we will change and do it on the other side. Bend the elbow in, back, press the heel down, lift the heel, bend, press it back down. And rotate those fingers back forward. The right hand will shift all the way back, fingertips point towards the knees. Lift the heel of the hand and bend the elbow to come down. 1. Press the heel back down. Bend and press. 2. Lift the heel of the hand. 3 and 4. Press it straight. Bend it in. 5. Lengthen down. And 6. 4 more times. 7 and 8. Working through those fingers, getting a bend. 9. Last one. And 10. Rotate the fingertips back to the front, back to hands and knees. Now we'll move into some fingertip push-ups. We'll lift the heel of the hand on both hands and press up as high as we can, keeping all the fingers down. So the knuckle of the fingers will stay down, but you're pressing gently up onto the fingers and down to the heel of the hand. Again, we have 10 repetitions here, working to gain more flexibility through the fingers and subsequently through the wrists. Lift up, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you'll release the heel of the hand back down to the mat. Sit back onto your heels. And I'll show you here. We're going to put the knuckles together with the hand in a gentle fist. The heel of the hand will be up to the ceiling, and the back of your hand will be down onto the mat. If it's too intense, you can separate your hands a little bit wider and leave your palms flat. Otherwise, bring the ankles together, and you'll do a push-up. Bend down and straighten. This is to stretch out through your wrists. If you can't make it all the way down where your elbows touch the mat, don't worry about that. Just go down as low as you can, and you'll bend and you'll stretch. Gentle pressure onto the wrists here to help stretch the wrists out. Again, we have 10 total repetitions in this position, doing these kind of wrist push-ups here that are really more just stretching the wrists than they are you getting any sort of strength building happening here. Release the hands, give them a wiggle, and now we'll place the right forearm down onto the mat with the palm up. You'll take your opposite forearm, your left, and you'll massage out, going up all the way to your elbow, and then doing circles back down towards your wrist. Finding the areas that feel tight in there for you and massaging those areas out. The wrists can get really tight and tense because the forearms are really tight and tense. And this is just a really nice, gentle massage to help release that area in your arm. So you'll go up to the elbow, and then you'll circle back down to the wrist, making sure you're hitting all the sides in that forearm and not just staying in the exact same up and down. You're going on the inside and the outside of your forearm as well as you go up towards the elbow and back down. And we'll change sides. The left forearm will come down, palm up. Your right forearm and your elbow even can help massage as you do circles around up towards your elbow. And then circle it back down towards the wrist. The amount of pressure you put on this is totally up to you. So you can do a little more pressure if that's what feels good, or you can do very light pressure if you need to. It's all about what you need and what your body is feeling, so you get to be the judge and decide how you want to do that. And we'll come back up towards the elbow and back down towards the wrist. Massaging out the inside and the outside of your forearm. As you work those muscles, the tendons will also be massaged, so your hand will open and close, and that's totally normal. Let's shift back onto our hands and knees facing the front of the mat. From here, we'll move into the ankles. The left foot will go flat onto the mat. You'll put your toes of your right foot onto the mat propped up, and you'll sink your hips back over your heels. You'll hold here for about 10 full breaths, getting a gentle stretch through the bottom of your foot, especially through the arch of your foot. So we're starting to get some work through the arch of the foot and also through our ankle joint as we press back and gently stretch here in this pose. If you haven't, continue to breathe deeply to the balanced breath. Inhale to a count of 4. Exhale to a count of 4. We'll come back to the tabletop and change sides. Right foot will go down. Prop your toes up on your left foot. Press your hips back over it. And breathe deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back onto all fours, and now we'll do it with both feet. So we'll tuck both the toes underneath, press our hips back, and hold here for about 10 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're just about finished with this stretch here. Shoot your weight forward and then shift the hips up. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees and gently roll all the way up to a standing position. And move yourself into the middle of your mat, and we'll face each other here. Your left foot will come onto the top of your foot. Your toes will point backwards, and the knuckles of your foot will be down onto your mat. I want to make sure that you're tracking your ankle straight. It's not twisting outward, so the weight's not onto your pinky toe. It's right in the middle of your foot. We're trying to stretch the toes and the ankle in a forward direction. We don't want the ligaments on the sides of our ankles to stretch out because that makes our ankles very unstable. So we're just working through the front of the foot here and through the arch of the foot on the back of your foot or the bottom of your foot. So really check in and make sure that your weight isn't rolling to your pinky toe, but that it's forward. You're putting a little gentle pressure onto the foot to help stretch it out. Continue to breathe, and we'll release that foot. And just start to lift the heel up and down a little bit. Roll the ankle out one way and the other way. Just stretching and releasing some of that tightness through your foot. And we'll go on the other side. The right foot will go down. Toes will point backward, but the knuckles of your toes will be down onto the mat. Your ankle will be straight once again. Really make sure you're not rolling to the outside of your foot. If you have tight ankles, it's very common that you'll want to roll out. So pay attention and check in on that. Make sure that the weight is pressing forward and not outward. There's a gentle weight pressing down into the mat to help stretch through the front of your foot, create more arch on the bottom of your foot. Just keep your breath going here. Release your foot, place it flat on the mat, and do a few heel lifts up and down to counter stretch. Roll your ankle one direction, and then change and roll it out the other way. Releasing that foot and the toes. And move up to the front of our mat, and we will come down onto our knees, one leg at a time. Sink down onto your hip on the side and swing your legs forward in front of you. Your shoulders will stack up right over your hips as much as possible. You'll flex your feet back towards your face, and with your right leg, you'll press down to the ball of your feet. You'll point your toes. Then, like you're picking something up with your toes, you'll scrunch and flex your feet. Release your toes to a flex. Ball of the foot, point the toes, scrunch and flex. Ball of the foot, point the toes, scrunch and flex. Ball, toe, scrunch and flex. Ball and toe and scrunch, flex. Press it down, point your toes, scrunch it up and flex the feet. We'll do this total of 10 times on this foot. This is helping to build some stability in your ankle joint and also to stretch it out at the same time. Other side, ball of the foot, point the toe, scrunch the feet, flex. Ball, toe, scrunch, and flex. Sitting up really tall, making sure that you're not losing your spine here and starting to slump. Lift up, keep working through the ankle and the foot. Ball and toe, scrunch, flex. Ball, toe, scrunch, flex. Ball, toe, scrunch, and flex. Ball, toe, scrunch, flex. This is also building coordination through your feet. And now we'll go back to the right foot and we'll just switch. We're going right points, pushing down left points, trying to roll through your feet to get them pointed. Doing the right foot and the left foot, right foot and the left foot. Changing and doing both feet down, pointing them together and holding. Really trying to point your toes towards the floor as much as you can, stretching through the arch and the front of your foot. Nice, lifting through the chest. And now do circles rolling to the outsides of the room, circling the ankles around and out. And then changing and doing circles going in to out. And now we'll move forward facing the front of the mat. The right foot is going to cross right above the left knee. You'll pull your toes back towards you, and with your thumb of your right hand, you'll press it into your arch to try and make as much of a pressed pointed toe as you can. So you're pulling those toes, stretching them out, really trying to get as much of a point into your foot as possible here. Don't forget about your breath. Keep breathing. Even though these aren't typical yoga exercises that we're doing here, they're great for working through the feet. We don't often stretch our feet, and this is nice to relieve the tension from being on our foot all day and some of the inflammation from standing so often. This will help relieve some of that pressure out of your feet. Our feet do have a lot of pressure points. And now just take your toes and bend them up, flexing, and then back down, gently flexing the ankle and dropping it down. And we'll switch sides. The left leg will come right above the right knee. We'll wrap our hand around the toes, pull them backwards, and then with the thumb of the left hand, press into the arch to try and help increase the arch of the foot. Those toes will come back towards you. Try to sit up nice and tall still. And really start to work through your foot. The bottom of the arch as well as the top of your arch of your foot, where your shoelaces would go. Keep breathing deeply and fully. It's not a very intense stretch, so enjoy your time to just give your feet some love and relax here. We're just about finished. Release your foot, flex it up and back, flex and lengthen, gently, gently, flexing and lengthening out through the foot. And reach it out long in front of you. We'll turn back to face the front of the mat. We'll cross our feet underneath us and step back to a tabletop position, or if that's too hard, just make your way back into a tabletop position here. Tuck both your feet so you're on your toes, and you'll shift your weight back onto your heels and forward onto your hands, just rocking back and forth, gentle shifts, working through the arch of the foot again. And this time we'll stay there for 5, 4, 3, and we'll release, cross the ankles or come to a seated position in a comfortable way. Move your bum into the middle of the mat. Your fingertips will point forward towards your toes, and then you'll walk your hands forward as your knees go forward and down onto the mat. You can leave your head looking forward if that's comfortable for you. Or if you want, you can also drop the head all the way back behind you. We're still up onto the toes, getting a stretch through the toes, but also adding some more stretch through the quads and through the chest and the shoulders here. Keep your full breath. You can choose your head placement. Sometimes releasing your head back helps you just relax more into the pose, so feel free to do that if that feels good for you here. I'll let you know when we're finished and we're moving out. Just about done. Here we go. Walk your hands forward. Untuck your toes. Move yourself into the middle of the mat. And then just gently pound out your tops of your feet onto your mat. We'll cross the ankles and come forward, or you can sink to the side and swing your legs forward and roll flat back onto your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a few breaths here to release everything out, to relax, and to let go. Let go of your knees and place both your feet flat onto the mat and your arms out to a T. You'll drop your knees over to the right and then windshield them up and over to the left, just rocking back and forth from side to side. Gentle twist, starting to work into the spinal twist that we're going to do in this next section here. So we'll rock right and left and right. And we'll hold here on the right side. Your knees will stay down to the right. You'll look over your left shoulder. Close your eyes. We'll hold here for about a total of 10 full breaths. So really tune into your breath with your inhale and your exhale. Keep breathing on your own, relaxing more deeply, and I will tell you when it's time to move to the other side. Let's take our last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Point your knees back up to the ceiling and then allow them to fall over to the left side as you look over your right arm. Your palms can be rotated up to the ceiling or down to the floor. Either way is fine. We're really just working into the spinal twist here. And again, we'll hold this for the same amount of time, about 10 total breaths. Trying to relax the knees closer to the floor. Keep both shoulders down on the mat if possible. And continuing our full breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue that on your own. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. Point your knees back to the ceiling. Stretch your right leg out long as you pull your left knee in towards your chest and give it a nice hug. Holding it here, really creasing in the hip flexor. We'll wrap the right hand around the knee and we'll cross the knee over the body to the right side of the mat. And again, we'll look back over our left shoulder. Your knee may be able to touch the floor or it may not. It doesn't matter here, as long as we're getting a nice twist through the spine. Your bottom leg will stay straight, your top leg will be bent. Your shoulders again will want to stay flat on the mat if at all possible. And you'll feel this through your spine as well as into your hips. As on that top left leg, you might feel it in your hip there. Into the rotators. It's depending on where you're tight. On your exhale, see if you can relax more, get more of a twist through the spine. Let your body sink down onto the mat. And see how comfortable you can get in this position. Taking your deep full inhale to come all the way back up, hug the knee into the chest. Stretch the left knee down. And the right leg will come up as you gently hug that into your chest. Really working on that hip crease here, allowing your shoulders to stay down onto the mat. The left hand will now wrap around the knee as your right arm extends out to the side. You'll twist over and the right leg will come down towards the left side of the mat. And you'll look back over your right extended arm. Keep breathing and relaxing, finding this beautiful spiral through your spine, a stretch possibly through your hip muscles, and relax more deeply as you breathe fully and hold for the remainder of this pose. Last breath here, big inhale and exhale. Roll back onto your back, hug your right knee into your chest, and release your right foot flat down onto the mat. Your left foot will come up and your left ankle will cross just below your right knee, and you'll make a figure 4 position. You'll twist over to the right side in that figure 4, and you'll look back over your left shoulder. Your arms will be into a T, and the more you can allow your knee to fall in towards your chest, the more of a stretch you'll get. To deepen the stretch, you can also reach your hand to the outside of your knee and hug that knee in towards your chest. Really stretching through your rotators in this twisted position here. Your foot won't stay flat down onto the mat. If you're hugging your knee in, it will roll to the inside blade of your foot, and that's totally fine. You can leave it there with your knee pointed more up to the ceiling for a less intense stretch, or you can hug that knee into your chest for a more intense stretch. Go to your level and continue to breathe deeply as you hold here in this rotated spinal stretch. Let's take our last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hand if you have it. Rotate back to center, place the left foot down, cross the right ankle over, and then twist over to the left side. Your head will change and look over to the right arm. And again, the more the knee points to the ceiling, the less intense the stretch will be on your rotators. The more you hug it in towards you or into your chest, the more intense of a stretch it will be on your rotators. So again, you always choose your level, where you're at. Try to relax and deepen into the pose. And hold here in stillness, quiet in the body and the mind, breathing deeply until it's time to move out of this stretch. Take your last round of breath here. Finish your inhale and your exhale. back onto your spine. Uncross your right leg, plant it down onto the mat. You'll walk your feet out as wide as your mat, knock your knees in towards each other. Your hands will go onto your lower belly, and you'll start that big, deep belly breath. The inhales will fill up your hands, and the exhales will contract your belly, causing your hands to sink down. Like a big air balloon, you fill the air on the inhale, and you release the air out on your exhale. Continue your nice, full, big belly breaths here to reset and to relax even deeper. Finish your last big belly breath. Inhale, fill all the way up. Exhale, release the air all the way out. Knees will separate, and you'll windshield wiper your knees, allowing them to fall so the right will go out as the left turns in. The left will go out as the right turns in. Just shifting back and forth, side to side, rotating one leg out and one leg inward. And then when you reach the right side, stay there with your right leg turned out, your left leg turned in, your arms out, just soft in a soft T. Allowing yourself to relax here in our final twisted pose of this class today. Just one more second here. Lift your knees back to center. Fall to the opposite side. The left leg will turn out, the right leg will turn in as your knees are facing the left and your head is looking over your right shoulder. This is our very last posture of this class today before we move into our Shavasana, or our resting pose. So really allow your mind to start to calm down, your body to relax fully and completely. Last second here, lift the knees back up to center. Stretch the right leg out long, the left leg out long. Rotate your palms up to the ceiling. Comfortably move your shoulders underneath you. Lengthen the back of your neck. Soften your body completely. Feeling the floor and the mat supporting you, so there's no need to grip or hold in any of the muscles in your body. You're completely supported by the floor here. So allow any extra gripping or holding to just relax. Feel your muscles melting off of your bones down into the floor. And as your body becomes completely relaxed and soft, allow your mind to also become completely relaxed, allowing your thoughts just to float away, creating a clear and open space inside your head where there's no worries, there's no anxieties. It's just peace and calm stillness. It's time to wake up now. So begin by rolling out your wrists in circles, blinking your fingers open and closed, and then rolling out your ankles, wiggling through your toes, opening and closing your feet together and apart, rocking your head side to side, and then shifting up into a seated position, sitting comfortably on your bum or on a block if you'd like. And we'll end with our balanced breath, taking an inhale to a count of 4 and an exhale to a count of 4. Sitting up tall, we inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, release, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale is our last inhale, 4, and exhale out, 3, 2, and 1. Your right hand goes on top of your heart, your left hand onto your belly, and repeat in your mind, may these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. May these practices heal and strengthen my body and my mind. Return your hands onto your knees. Open your eyes, and you've finished a whole